Next up is a question, a percentage question. It's compound interest. Now, these questions here, they can be, they're decent enough questions that even if you don't understand how to do compound interest, that you can give it a go anyway. But there's a quick and easy way of doing this. I'm going to start off quite slowly on the first one and go through the method. Now, first of all, we're getting 3.5% interest per year. So the first thing and the trickiest thing to do is work out what we call the percentage multiplier. And that's how to increase this by 3.5%. So if you imagine that your initial amount is 100%, and what we're going to do is we're going to add 3.5% on top of it. So if we add 3.5%, we end up with 103.5%. Now what we need to do is we need to work out what the multiplier is. So the way we work out the multiplier is we shift the decimal point 2 places to the left to get 1.035. And 1.035 is what we call our multiplier. Now I know the pure mathematicians or most mathematicians don't like saying move the decimal point, but if it helps you remember, then it doesn't matter. Move that decimal point over. So what we've got to do is we've got to increase 1,200 by 3.5%. So what we do is we add 3.5% on top. So 100% plus 3.5% is 103.5%. Shift that decimal point over, so 1.035 is a multiplier. Now what a multiplier allows us to do is if we times by a multiplier, it adds on 3.5%. So if on our calculator we did 1,200 times by 1.035, so let's make it look like a 3 then, my apologies. If we times by 1.035, then that adds 3.5% on automatically. So 1,200 times by 1.035 gives us 1,242. Now that's what we get after the first year. And then what we need to do is we need to do 1,242 times by 1.035. So times that by 1.035, and we get 1285.47. So that's after 2 years. So if we do 1285.47 times by 1.035, that's what it's going to be after 3 years, which is 1,330.46145, which obviously is nonsense because this is money, so we need to round to the nearest penny. So that's going to be £1,330, and pence will end there. So we don't need to round it up, so it's just going to be 46 pence. Now that's how you do it if you wasn't that confident. However, once you're more confident, and again the key thing is getting this multiplier right, there is a real short way to do this. I'm going to leave that answer down there in the answer box because it is the correct answer. But what we can do with compound interest, we do something times something to the power of something. Now this something here is the original amount, so this is going to be 1,200. This thing here is going to be our multiplier, so that's the original amount. This is our multiplier, and this here is the number of years involved in the question. So our multiplier is 1.035, and the number of years is 3. So if on our calculator we do 1,200 times by 1.035 to the power of 3, lo and behold, we get this answer down here. So this is a quick method once we've done our revision, once we're confident using it. So now let's have a look at the next question. Let's see if we can use the quick method now. So we start off with our amount times our multiplier to the power of the years. So the original amount is 6,200. Our multiplier is going to be 2.5%. So again, 100% plus 2.5% equals 102.5%. Move that decimal place over twice. So that's going to be 1.025. The number of years is 3. So 6,200 times by 1.025 to the power of 3 is £6,676 and 72 pence once you've rounded it properly. Very quick question. I mean, you've got 3 minutes to do that. And even with explanations, that took less than 3 minutes. That probably took less than a minute and a half. So let's have a look at the next one. Okay, now this one. Viv wants to invest £2,000 in 2 years in the same bank. Which one does she choose? So, compound interest, 4% for the first year, 1% for the second year. So what we do for the international bank, we've got to increase by 4%, then we've got to increase it by 1%. So how do we increase by 4%? We need to find the 4% multiplier. So 100% plus 4% is 104%. 2 decimal places over, that's going to be 1.04. So we times it by 1.04, and that'll be after the first year. Now the next year, you need to add on an extra 1%. So 1% is going to be 101%, which goes to 1.01 as a multiplier. So whatever our answer is here, we times it by 1.01. So 2,000 times by 1.04 times by 1.01, and we get 2100.8, which in terms of money is 80 pence. So now, Friendly Bank, we've got £2,000 and we want to increase it by 5%. So we do a multiplier, which turns out to be 1.05, and that's going to be increasing it by 5%. We then need to increase by 0.5% next time. So 100% plus 0.5 is going to be 100.5%. So we then move decimal point over twice, that's going to be 1.005. That's quite a tricky one. So once we've got our answer here, whatever that turns out to be, we times it by 1.005. So 2,000 times by 1.05 for the first one, times by 1.005, and that gives us 2,110.5, which is £50. So 50 pence. So we get an extra £9.30 if we go with this bank. Okay, same question again. So if you were reasonably okay with the previous question, have a go at this question then. So pause the video, have a go at it, and then see whether or not you get the same answer that I'm going to get in a second. Okay, if you have paused it, let's see whether or not you've got the correct answer. Let's assume that I get the correct answer, of course. Peter wants to have as much money as possible in savings after 2 years. So we're looking at 2 years here. So 4% for the first year and then 1.5% after that. So BS, bonus saver in this case. So it's going to be £20,000 multiplied by, well, we've got to add on 4%, so that's going to be times by 1.04 is our 4% multiplier. Then 1.5%, so that's going to be times in our answer by 1.015. Again, the way we got the 1.5%, sorry, 1.015 is you got 100% plus 1.5, which is 101.5. Move that decimal point over twice, 1.015. And that gives us 20,000 times by 1.04 times by 1.015. And our answer is £21,112. Okay, fixed rate. So that's 2.5% for each year. So that's going to be £20,000 times by 1.025, in exactly the same way as we did this one for 1.5. This is going to be it for 2.5%. And remember, it's the initial amount times the multiplier to the power of the years. Or, so you could do to the power of 2, or you could just scratch that and do times 1.025 again. So exactly the same. I'm going to do it to the power of 2 though. So 20,000 times by 1.025 to the power of 2, and that equals 21,012.5, so that's 50. So we have a look. This one is £21,112, £21,012.50. So the bonus saver, that is the one that we choose. And we have to say afterwards, bonus saver, we didn't do this in the last question, which is a little bit naughty, is best. Okay, let's do it again. So which do we go for, the building society or the bank? So BS and B. So 3% for 2 years, so it's going to be 40,000. Again, we're going to write down and work into 40,000 times by 1.03, because that's the multiplier. 3% on top of 100%, 103%. Move that decimal point over by 2. That's to the power of 2. So that equals 40,000 times by 1.03 to the power of 2. £42,436. That's for the building society. The bank just pays 2,550 after the 2 years, so it's going to be 40,000 plus 2,550, which is 42,550. So, in which case, the bank is better. Bank is best. Again, very, very quick, and that's 4 marks. Now, this one is a little bit different, because here, we're talking about depreciation, so that means the percentage goes down at 20% per year. So again, if you start off with your original, which is 100%, if it goes down by 20%, then that's going to be 80%. So as a multiplier, if we've got 80, if we move the decimal point over by 2, that's going to be 0.80 or 0.8. Therefore, to decrease something by 20%, we times by 0.8. So 27,500 is what it costs initially. After the first year, if we times by 0.8, we get 27,500 times by 0.8, we get 22,000. So that's after 1 year. It says Gary buys a new van for 27,500. After n years, the value is that there. So this is after 1 year. So if we times our answer by 0.8, times by 0.8, that's going to be after 2 years. Times by 0.8, that's going to be after 3 years. Times by 0.8, after 4 years. And we've got to keep going until we get 11,264. So let's try it. So let's try times by 0.8, and we get 17,600. So that's after 2 years. Times that by 0.8 again, and we get £14,080. So that's after 3 years. Times it by 0.8 again, and we get 11,264, and that's after 4 years. And that's what this question's after. So after n years, that's 4 years. And that's it. So again, please like, subscribe, and share the video as much as you can, because I think this is really, really useful for everyone getting grade C's and above.